Good morning, Binge fans. You're here with Binge with Brandon. I'm headed out to Topeka, Kansas today with Trailer Tyler. And we're just getting loaded up and leaving the house right now. And I've got a special shirt on for him. Love you, Sam.
Love you, sweetheart.
We will see what he thinks about that, because I am trailering him all the way there. Anyways, we'll catch up in a while. We're on our way to Heartland. And by we, I do mean Trey. He is actually here this time. Here. He didn't just ditch me and go hang out with his wife or something. So we've got about 2 hours left, 2.5 hours left before we get there. Should be really fun. Looks like good boost weather, good car weather. What other tacky things can we say?
I don't know. I mean, as far as weather goes, I think we're looking at highs of 60s while we're there for Friday and Saturday. There's a whole bunch of us going from Colorado as well that compete in
The SCCA stuff.
Ryan's going to be there. Tripp's going to be there. Corey's going to be there. Rich is going to be there. We're going to be there. Adam Wood should hopefully make it. I think Lucas Urban's making it as well. I'm going to feel really bad when I figure out I missed somebody.
Did you say Jeff?
Jeff West.
Oh my God. There he is.
Sorry, Jeff. My bad. Ben couldn't make it. Ben's got problems.
Ben's got problems again. That's all right. We feel for him.
Yeah. We love you, Ben.
Should be exciting. We get 3 days of track. I think you can catch it live, so tune in when you can. Except for this is after the fact.
This will be after the fact for sure.
Hopefully you tuned in.
Well, we can put links to the parts of it. We can probably rob them of some of the videos of us being on track. We're gonna do that.
Free advertising.
Oh yeah. I don't have anything else to say.
Yeah, me either. I was just trying to drive in the wind here, so peace out, guys.
It's been kind of, yeah. Cue music. You can't see us, but we fucking made it!
Woo,
We fucking made it! Oh wait, there's the gate.
Yes. We avoided death.
Dude, we almost nailed that deer.
We almost nailed the deer.
Good job, Brandon, though. Skilled driver right here.
Sick. Party starts now.
Oh, yeah.
Not a very old racetrack as far as things go here, Greg, but it is certainly unique and has a lot of variety in the corners that you see here at this track.
Yeah, it does. I mean, you've got elevation from the start line up to the top of 1, then it drops down through the exit of 1 through 2, climbs again through 3, and then you've got fast corners, you've got tighter corners. Turn 6 and turn 14, hugely critical because you've got runs onto the longest, fastest sections of the track. 8, 9, it's a place where you flow a lot of speed, but one bobble there, you can lose a ton of time. We've seen a lot of guys overshoot 10, not necessarily go off, but just have big slides, big moments, and then you're into 11, 12, 13, and 14, really technical, and you've got to get squared up and onto the straight out of 14 with a good run because it leads, again, onto a long, fast section of track. There are areas where you actually compromise the exits, one where you compromise the entrance to get set up for that. There's lots to be thinking about on this track. It's technical, it's fast, it's flowing, it's really wide, and the way it's paved, you can see the 3 distinct lines. That's probably the only patch I've seen at all, so the grip is consistent everywhere here, Kyle, and for track battle guys, they love that.
So this is the first session of the first day, which is Friday. There is no live stream of this, so we're just going to go ahead and take a look at my own video as well as Jeffrey West's video on the bottom. Here you can see with me on top, we have Ryan Dusix right in front of me, following a white S2000, and Jeffrey on the bottom is following what looks like it's a blue, it's an older Subaru. Anyways, overall for this session, Jeffrey actually outpaced us. He was in a later session. I think tracks were a little bit warm, and of course Jeffrey has balls of steel. I know that for myself, somewhere around here I started noticing that my tires were a little loose in the rear. I am running on some old RT660s from last season that my buddy Lewis had given me, and the rear tires are a lot more worn than the front tires I have, so I definitely have way more front grip than the rear, and you'll see here at the tail end of this lap I'm sliding around quite a bit. Go ahead and get a point by from this Civic, and I'll keep following Ryan and this White S2000. If you pay attention to Ryan here, you'll see that he's getting a lot of white smoke coming through some of these corners. He is running some fresh Yokohama AO55s, and he's trying to get those bad boys scrubbed in, and they are rubbing a little bit in the fender. We did confirm after that it's not cutting the tire sidewalls or anything like that, which is great. Coming through turn 8 and 9 right now, those S's are a little bit tricky. Jeffrey is being held up, I think, a little bit by this person in front of him. That corner you'll see a ton of dirt on throughout this weekend and throughout this video. Right here on the top video, you'll see that's where I'm first starting to get some real slipping on the rears, and I'll do it again right here trying to come around. I was noticing that the rears were slipping out a lot more under the tight corners than anything. We'll make the last corner here 14 and run out for the straight, and that'll go ahead and finish up this lap for this session.
Well, Trey and I just did our first session, qualifying, I guess they call it, for the Gridlife event here, and we both did okay. I don't know. I'm not mad. A 148, I think I did. Sounds like he did maybe a 150, and Corey Ross actually did a 146 already. Definitely cold out. Tires were still warming up. I think the next session will prove to be quite a bit better for us. I'm still going to be using my RT 615s, and maybe for the last session today or starting tomorrow I'll switch over to the Nankings, but I definitely want to get a little bit more experience on this track. It's definitely high commitment, pretty fast. Sweet, we'll talk to you later.
All right, so after the first session, tires are definitely a little, well, I'm lacking grip in the rears. So I went ahead and rotated them. Ryan and I checked the durometer of the front and rears, and there's like a 5 difference. So I think it was 55 in the front and 60s in the rear was the durometer of them. So I definitely have more grip in the front, and it was obvious because when I would turn, all of a sudden the rear would break loose, and I'd have to counter steer to try to combat that. So definitely was real chill this first session out. I don't want to be crazy or anything. Rotated those. We've got a couple hours until we go out again. Getting kind of ugly outside. We feel a little bit of droplets. It's not supposed to last super long, so should be good. We'll run faster. I think everybody did pretty well. No incidences or anything like that. Most of the Max guys went out in Group 1, so like Brandon and myself were in Group 1, Rich was in Group 1, Ryan and Corey, and Tripp as well, I think, was Group 1, or Group A. And Jeff went out in Group B. So we'll check out the new times, and we should shuffle for a new grid, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
Are best for maximum power, and so tomorrow is going to be a much nicer day, but doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be better for power, because as it gets warmer you lose a little bit of that, and so that's going to be a real concern. So Grant's got work to do.
He certainly does.
No question.
Cars rolling on the racetrack now. There's Peter Granberg in the blue BRZ. There's Fez Bobber in the yellow GR86 rolling off onto the racetrack. A couple PhD Supras joining the party now. If you'd like to follow along with timing and scoring and VIN-numbered cars that were never intended to be used for the street, you're asking, well, how is Ferris's car not super unlimited? That's super fast. Well, it started life as a street car.
Yes.
Cars that are purpose-built, that started life as a race car, go into the super unlimited category and have their own separate competition. That is one of the examples of those cars here this weekend.
There are a couple of them I saw in the paddock, a couple of the sports prototypes, if you will.
Yeah,
so
there is a few. I know there's a couple running in HPDE, and in terms of the Super Unlimited class, there's also Dodge Viper competition here this weekend. We saw that car here last year. I don't think it was running in track battle, though, so we'll see how it does here this weekend. On track now, that's the 727 car of Trey Tyler, Street Mod WRX, rolling around the racetrack, getting warmed up here. And warming up, that's a pretty important thing when the temperature's this cool. Got to get tires in your heat in your tires, and heat in your brakes for everything to work efficiently when it's this cool like today.
It is. I mean, we have no sun on the track. It's been, cloudy for the most part, that little bit of rain. So you're not getting any sunlight that's heating the track, which can help bring your tires up to temp. So you've got to do the work before you really start to lay laps in. And one of the best ways you can heat tires, you can scrub them back and forth. That helps with surface heat a little bit. But if you want to go out, if you've got any kind of good alloy rim, you want to just dynamite your brakes and let that brake heat radiate through the rim, because then it heats the tire inside out. It's a much more uniform heat, and it also gets the pressure in the tire more uniform, as opposed to having all the temp on the surface of the tire, which obviously you can do damage, you can blister it and the like. So that's a good way to do it as well. But the magic thing is, everybody's, well, why do you need heat in the tires? Well, two things. One, the compound of the rubber requires heat to generate grip. That's step one.
That's what the yellow is. Here's a good look at that Subaru we saw a couple minutes ago. That is the 600 car of West. That is Jeffrey West out of Littleton, Colorado, in an 06 Subaru Impreza. And again, we don't really see a lot of Subarus throughout the year, but when we go out to the kind of further into the Midwest and into Colorado and here at Heartland Park, we see a lot of Subarus, a lot of all-wheel drive cars, which are welcome additions in classes that tend to be kind of rear-wheel and front-wheel drive.
Absolutely, and these cars are quick. I mean, they were designed to be, sort of little rockets. There's no question about it. And, here you can get those blazingly hot days in the summer, but you can get some sketchy conditions in the winter here. And so I think, for performance driving in these kind of conditions, all-wheel drive, especially in the damp, those cars are going to be really strong.
Working his way through turn number 3 right now. Another car that I just see on the timing, and I should mention Andreas Bertulis in the 171. That is a Lexus RCF running in Unlimited. It's been a little while since we've seen Bertulis around. That's the red on the timing and scoring is your Unlimited category. It looks like we also have a track modified competitor, the number 103. And that is Brandon Oglesby out of Pueblo West, Colorado. The Flying Lap BMW 135 is the track mod car. I saw that's got some fender flares on it and stuff. Really neat looking car.
It is. It is. One of the things, too, about this track, and I was just watching it here with his run, is in that when you come out of 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, 6 to 7, they come at you in a hurry with a fast car. And, you might have just literally an instant where you're actually straight on the wheel. Because you're through the turn, you unwind, and then you're turning again. And there's a lot of trail braking into corners. And see, it ran a little wide there at the exit of 10. And that probably slowed him down just a smidge here through 11 and 12. Again, coming out of 10, you don't want to be much more than halfway, mid-track, so that you can really get set up for 11 and be able to get that rotated into 12.
All right, so this is the second session for Ryan Dusix. He's actually following this black or dark gray BRZ. This BRZ actually does go off track later in this session. You won't see it now, but the announcers will be talking about it in the following session. This is going to be the first session that Ryan's been able to actually try to push the car. The temperatures are getting up to a higher level. The track temperatures are hot. The air temperature is still pretty cool though, so it should be making really good power. It's pretty incredible how much grip Ryan has, especially coming through turn 3. It's amazing just watching how fast that looks in comparison to my own laps in my own car. Getting in the dirt a little bit there on 5. We'll race down here to turn 6 and see where his turn-in is. It does look like it's a bit of an early turn-in. That's the way I like to do that as well. Does a pretty good job of using the full track width and coming out to the outside of that corner. Flat out coming through the kink in turn 7. And we'll go ahead and set up here for 8. Ryan does a good job here as well, staying flat through there. The car seems pretty settled coming through those bumps and then ripping through 8 and turn 9. Turn 10 here is a little bit sketchy. Takes some commitment, and figuring out your braking zone is quite interesting here as well. This is actually some of my favorite parts here, the last few corners. Very, very technical. to complete, and honestly, I felt like most of us from Colorado that were here at Heartland Motorsports Park for this weekend were very good at that at those last few corners. You'll see in a lot of our video that we'll pull in a lot of cars through that technical bit, and I wonder if that has to do with a lot of the practice that we have on these racetracks that we have out here in Colorado.
Because of the balance, you could really flow some nice, speed, and the car would just and when you started to feel you were at the limit, it was user friendly. It'll let you know I'm there, so don't overdo it here at that point. So yeah, great little chassis.
Here's Ryan Dessix again. We talked about him, how he had the broken windshield at PPIR. Well, he's got the windshield replaced, and at the top of the board here, he is running in, I believe, the unlimited class, so this car will probably be outgunned when Ferris Khartoumi shows up a little later today, but we'll give him credit for being here and giving it a go. And again, this car we've seen in a lot of different time attack competitions across North America, and this is really the first time we've seen it on track this year because of the early out at Alpine.
He's got a 1:45.8 going. I mean, that's 3 seconds quicker than anybody else in this session. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to stand up to a Ferris Khartoumi time. But nonetheless, he's still really putting up some nice times here.
And in terms of the track records, we talk about unlimited class records. I don't know. We did have some unlimited cars last year. They weren't quite up to, we talk about the Ferris level because he's just so far and away. That car is ridiculous. But it was Brad Perkins.
Session 2's up. Trip got to go out first and ran. How much faster did you run?
Second faster.
The second faster, and where are you at?
157.
157. That's where Trip's at. How does it feel?
Faster.
Faster, faster. No, the track. This is my first time.
Track is feeling really good. This morning it was a little sketchy when it was cold.
Yeah.
Now with the little bit more, I don't know what it is. It's just a certain je ne sais quoi.
It's warmed up a bit.
Yeah, and it's more drivable. This morning it was kind of scary out there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I was sliding around. Were you sliding around?
I almost went 4 wheels off over there.
Which turn? Oh.
The one right over there with the numbers. Before you go. I was waiting too late and braking too hard. My tires weren't warm enough.
Oh, okay.
For anyone that comes here on a cold day, warm your tires up. Don't push it before they're warm.
Bring bigger jackets. Thanks, Brandon, for letting me borrow your hoodie.
Parkas, even if you think it might be cool.
Freezing my ass off. Last night was cold.
The RV was really nice, Yeah.
Anyways, we're not talking Trip anymore. My ass was sleeping in a trailer with no heat.
You can sleep.
No puppies. No puppies keeping me warm. Puppy.
The puppies would not get on the couch with me. Once I took over the couch, that was it.
Smart.
They were done.
Smart puppies. Oh, look who's here.
Oh, it's the whole
Oh,
party.
hey.
Dang! What's up, guys?
You guys were in the
We're on
trailer
the flying flat.
And Ryan was flying.
He was flying. You guys were in the trailer for like a minute, yeah?
Yeah, 30 seconds or less, man. It's like pizza. All the sausage
Like
pizza.
Hot Pockets.
Say hi, Olivia. So anyways, the goal here is next session we'll run faster than Ryan. Super easy.
We should get pictures of car owners by their cars.
Cars on track making their first time laps. Corey Ross comes across the timing and scoring. And first lap out for Corey Ross, a 1:49, so just warming things up now. Andres Bertulis is on track. There's a good look at the number 2 of Ryan Dessix.
A little bit of smoke out of the back. Now that may be tire rub.
Could be. It's Subaru.
Yeah.
I own one. I'm allowed to say that. There's your 8 different classes here. The Super Unlimited down to Falcon Sunday Cup. I say 8, typically it's 7, but we have a couple Super Unlimited cars, so we have to make sure we mention those. And Dessix right now running in 10th overall here, a 1:48.8. That is about 3 seconds off of his time this morning. I think people still working up to pace here in this
Absolutely.
session. curious to see if we'll see a lot of those manual transmission cars. They'll be hard to get, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. I would think so.
Dussex to the top,
Nice.
143.351, which is 2 seconds faster, 2.5 seconds faster than his time from this morning. So he's certainly getting comfortable.
Yeah, they are finding speed, and you got to love that. Kyle Magnuson sits second in this group right now in the Cayman, the Street GT car, at a 144.3. And he had a 146.7, so he's 2.4 seconds faster than he was. So obviously, the tweaking that they've been doing on these cars and the fact that the conditions are staying nice and cool with the wind, it's there, but it's nowhere near as gusty and consistently stout winds as it is down this long backstretch. These cars are working right now.
And the confidence level of everybody.
Oh,
for so many people, this is a new event. We had this event last year. I think there was a lot of drivers that were like, I'm not really sure, but I've never heard of this place. This year, as the finals, everyone was like, yeah, I got to try this place out. And last year, the biggest response was, holy cow, I didn't know this track was this awesome. I've heard several people say that this might be the best time attack track in North America after driving it.
Really?
Which is a very, that's a lot of words. Joint project between BMW and Toyota, and everyone jokes, oh, it's just a BMW. And they basically approved that engine. It wasn't like they just said, just roll with it. And it is proven in Jackie's car. Really impressive stuff from BMW and Toyota. And especially I've heard a lot of people say actually that the off-track areas of this place are pretty
and hits a wall.
Yep.
Just the right angle, and then suddenly they're just wicked fast. I don't know what it did, but after that it just hooked up.
I'm going to do it to the other side too.
Exactly.
There's a 727 car on track. That's Trey Tyler from DSX Motorsports out of Colorado Springs. And that Subaru WRX rolling through turn 14 and back up onto the front straightaway here. First timed laps going in on this session. And across the board for the 727. In the books, a 146.881.
And he had a 148.7.
So that's a 2-second pickup. Man.
We seem to see the gains in times when somebody makes a big gain. It's been in that from 1.8 to 2.2 second range for the most part. So obviously the track just has that much more in it right now, and it's up to these drivers to go out and explore that.
Back, having a look at Piero for a moment, then back to Tyler here. A lot of squat in the rear suspension on that car, kind of tucking some tire back there.
He's certainly getting the weight to transfer.
Again, I think the strength of these Subarus, these WRXs in particular, is that fundamentally they haven't really changed all that much, and they were just a good car from the outset in terms of their all-wheel drive system.
Yes.
And it continues to be really, really good. And despite the new one maybe not being the prettiest car on planet Earth, still I'm sure is a very, very good car. We haven't seen him in the racetrack yet, but we will.
Right. Did you see how when he just turned into 6, he could turn in a lot earlier because then if you're in a rear drive car and you turn in that early, you have to wait forever for the car to straighten out before you can really go to throttle. The back end's just going to rotate around on you. All-wheel drive, you can turn in a little earlier because you just point those front wheels where you want it to go. And we talked about it earlier. If you have that little setup on it, or when you go to throttle, it's just a smidge loose at the back, then you could turn in early, go to throttle. The back just has that minor little rotation. You let those fronts pull you out of the corner, and away you go. And and you may think, okay, well, what does that do? Well, the simplest thing, and you still have to factor this in, he traveled a little less distance than the other guy did.
All right, Brandon, let's go 500, 600.
Yeah, baby, cold air boost.
Morning, everybody.
Day 2.
Day 2. So it's Saturday. We had 3 successful sessions today. Yesterday, there was a little bit of light drizzle, rain, so surfaces weren't perfect or anything. But last session for all of us actually proved pretty quick. I think we all improved 1 or 2 seconds in that last session.
Yeah, I managed to get 2 seconds faster from 48 to a 46.
Yeah, we had to rotate your tires.
Yeah, that helped.
To
Well, that was the
change a little bit. But
session 2, and that did help for
right.
sure. Jeff went faster.
Jeff back there.
And
He ran
Corey
off
went
on us.
faster, and Ryan went faster. He's actually out in Group A right now.
Yeah, he went way faster. He
got a
44,
43.
43.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Got-
way faster.
44 was when probably we went out, and then he got a 43 on the
Before we
came back in.
Yeah, exactly. So we got some catching up to do if we think we're going to be anywhere close to Ryan today. But he's got new slicks, so
Yeah.
some nice tires.
Mm-hmm.
Today they were saying the track surface this morning might be a little bit slippery, so to be careful. So
It feels warm though.
it feels warmer. The sun's out.
I'm only wearing one jacket,
Yeah, we're not
And it's
shivering.
open.
Yeah,
so maybe the sun will pester the ground a little bit, and it'll be good for when we go out. But earlier this morning, it definitely was. There's a lot of dew on the ground and stuff.
yeah. I think I have high expectations of this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
You do.
Yeah, I'm gonna
do.
try.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know about me. I'm just gonna see what happens.
If I don't say I'm gonna do it, I'm not gonna do it. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it.
I just want to go faster. That's my goal.
Yeah. Heartland's been really fun though. This track is incredible. It's really fast. I don't know what else to say there. It's just it's great. It's a huge infield here. Bring your scooter if you ever make it out here.
It's real flowy. The high speed stuff I think takes balls
Yeah.
to maintain it. Like I feel like, and I think you agree, we're kind of reeling people in on more of the technical, slower bits of the track. But some of those high speed, like just stay flat out, is where I'm lifting and I'm losing
Me too.
time.
Some of them are blind, so you can't see your exit very well, and you just need to know the track in that sense.
Yeah.
So.
Hopefully the video's coming through all right. What's cool about this event compared to the PPIR event, at least last year, is I feel like we are getting a little bit of coverage on the YouTube live stream, which is awesome.
Yeah, we'll try and cut some of that into the video here for you guys because we've heard our names a few times, which will be cool.
Hell yeah.
We're on TV, guys.
Famous as fuck. Boys.
We'll catch up with you guys later.
Into a 43.8, so we are seeing some relative. racecraft or anything like that. It is all about speed. You want grip that you just know no matter what corner I'm in, it's going to. That would be a nice gain on the dividend there, that's for sure.
All right, cars up on top of the board here early in this session. Wes Lundeen in street class cars, Ian Flavin in a BRZ up into third overall here in Club TR at the top of the list for now. Poulsen right behind in a very similar car. So I think the 199. Both dark gray cars, I think. They're paddock next to each other. They look identical. And right now, only 0.2 apart on the timing screen.
Really tight. And that's what makes this so compelling. There's no question.
Trying to get a look at the Subaru BRZ, or Subaru WRX. Got BRZ on the brain. Is that? Oh, it's a 600 car, I think. Yes, Jeffrey West. That's the car leading the way right now. 2006 Subaru Impreza. Jeff's out of Littleton, Colorado. And rolling through the last couple corners right now, using an all-wheel drive system to its max. Good, clean-looking build here, too. Just stark white. Looks really solid.
Really nice. He had a 47.86 as the best time yesterday. Currently at a 48.7. See if he drops that down a little bit.
Up onto the front straight here, kind of hugging the Armco as he comes across the line. Can Jeff West go faster? And looks like no pickup that time.
Not that time.
Faster than Dana's best time as Peter Gramberg is off track again. had a look at the 103 car. That was a BMW 135. That is the flying lap car. Brandon Oglesby from Pueblo West, Colorado, 2008 model year car. And across the line, checkered flag here on Track Battle B.
Alright, so we are catching up for 2 sessions now, the first session and the second session. Do you remember much of the first?
The first session in the morning felt fast, but I didn't go faster, like a tenth faster. I think a lot of us did.
Yeah.
Reasonably. Corey went a little faster.
Mhm.
I don't know. Everybody was going off as usual.
There's been a lot of it. Yeah, so, I mean, we mentioned it in the earlier part of the video before we went out, that people were just flying through this this corner, and I'll show you here real quick, and pulling a bunch of dirt onto the track, doing it pretty consistently. Some people are going off there, and sure enough, our first session out, after Group A, Group B goes out, and they didn't have time to clean the track. Definitely a lot of
There's
debris
dirt
and
everywhere,
Mhm.
and half the time you go through the corner, there's still a dust cloud sitting
Mhm.
there.
So,
I mean, that's frustrating because you're going pretty fast, so you want to see where you're going.
But that considered, I mean, it was good. We still went a little bit faster. I think I shaved off like 0.3 of a second that time. So that was good. I know, like, Tripp went a little bit faster. He got down into the 53s. I think
Ryan went a little bit faster.
He's still sitting in the 43s. I think he wants to get to a 42. Rich, actually, he passed me up now. In that session, he got like 0.3 faster.
He actually, he pulled out behind me
on the
in
first
that session. No, this most recent session, he just pulled out behind me. So even though I think he's a second or so back behind me, there was nobody in between us.
Yeah, so there's a big gap there.
Yeah, there's a big gap there.
Yeah, so that's session 2. Might as well start talking about that.
Yeah, that was session 2. Rich was right behind me. First hop lap out, I was supposed to be doing about a 143, predicted 143. I was going pretty fast, and I caught everybody in front of me, and I don't know what happened up there. It sounded like maybe somebody went off right away, messed up Corey's lap, but coming in, messed up my lap right as I was coming into the last few turns. A bunch of people went into the pits, so...
Yeah, on the tail end of it.
Yeah.
My experience was similar. We actually caught up to each other later on, but I started out doing all right. I was behind this blue BRZ and keeping a relatively good pace. I definitely know that I've got more power than him. I think he might be Club TR or something. So I gave myself a good gap, and I was gaining on him. I did my fastest lap, which was like a 46.7 on the first one.
Okay.
And then I definitely just caught him. Like he got squirrely coming through these S's where the dirt is, and then missed his brake zone, and he just went straight off.
Yeah, he was sitting there when I came by, too.
Yeah.
So he sat there for a good minute waiting for, I think, a good number of us to go by.
Yeah.
And he obviously had to hit the pits after that because that's a black flag. So.
Yeah. And then I was on my flyer. I was running, it was still 46, but I think it was like a 46.3. I would have been down by another couple tenths, but caught up to this orange-yellowish Supra, and there was the S2000 in front of it.
Yeah.
They pointed me by after, like, I had been slowed down
You
for
were already too slow.
2 turns.
Yeah.
I was stuck. And then they pointed me by, I got mad, and then you fly by on the inside and like get sideways through this corner.
Yeah, we'll post that in there because it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
I have the view from me, and then we have the view from you as we go by. So
yeah, it was pretty fun.
Should be pretty fun.
So we still got one more session today here up in, it's at 4 o'clock, right? So another hour and a half we've got until we go out. How's the carbon feeling? Like
the car's great. It's been doing everything I've been asking it to. The brakes feel good, the tires feel good, and it's staying cool enough that I can stay out for an entire session.
That is nice.
That's feat for a BMW, honestly. Most of the time they get overheated and stuff like that, but it's really liking the air here.
Yeah, it's nice and dense, and it's cool. I think the most I hit on that one, and I was like hot lapping over and over again. I think I hit like 208 coolant temps, 225 on my oil. The reason I'm slowing down and cooling off is mostly for my brakes and the tires.
Yeah, I definitely got my tires and brakes hotter than anything. By the end of the session there, I was still trying to go pretty fast, and I could tell the brakes were getting a little spongy. Just getting a little hot in the fluid there. But
I've been happy with mine so far. Like I kind of babied into it yesterday. I was worried, they got the new motor,
the feel
wanna
of the
make
new
sure it's good.
tires too.
Yep.
I think. Yeah.
Been paying attention, making sure my injector duty cycle is up about 10% higher than it normally is. I think that's just because the more air needed more fuel.
Sure.
But
Hopefully still within.
The knock and everything is good. No knock, no the dam's not coming down. So it seems to be running really smooth. Checked oil, all bueno.
Yep.
Not really eating anything. So I'm really happy so far with this.
I think the cars are running great. We just got to put ourselves together and try and
3 more sessions.
Yeah, and I want 2 or 3 more seconds.
Jeez. I'd be happy if I can get down to my predictive right now is a 45.8. Is my theoretical.
And that's what you'd be happy with that, but
I totally would be happy with that. Yeah.
My predictive was a 43, like 4 or 5.
Ooh.
So I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. Oh, I would be happy with that too.
Yeah.
For sure. Cool. We'll
Thanks,
see
guys.
you out there in a minute.
Somebody just jumped up a spot there as we pulled that up on screen. I think it might have been Mike Coons in the 310.
Right, yeah, 44.29.
I think he's gone a little quicker at times. Mike Coons 44.5. No, that was quicker.
Yeah.
For Coons, good lap there. As Evan Weeder 11th overall in the session at a 46 flat. Schneekloff, Granberg, Trey Tyler, Mario Marone, and more. Matt Thompson in the track modified Mustang at a 150.2. And Fez Bomber down the order. Now Fez definitely not feeling something right in that car.
This is the worst whiskey shit they can get. Oh, ¿qué pasó? Motherfuckers!
Well, it seems like it's time for celebration.
Everybody's the end of the day, Saturday here.
Everybody's gone faster. Oh shit,
Everybody
that was
went
not
faster.
on me.
I've gone faster
What'd you run,
every
Chris?
session.
What'd you run?
152.
A 152 what?
0.5.
Good. You were on it.
What
Olivia,
did
what'd you run?
Brian
Brian, what'd you run?
I did a 142.5.
Ooh, 142.
Oh.
You got a whole new
44.1.
44.1. I did a 146.3. So everybody
you're
went
in my
faster.
sights, man. You're in my sights.
You're in my.
Yeah,
I'm in your
yeah,
sights?
next
He's
year-
gonna get 6 seconds tomorrow.
No,
Be up there with
next
me.
Next year, you're going down.
He says, I bought the wrong tires because of you, Trey.
Yeah, you fucked me on the tires. Don't talk to me about tires, motherfucker.
Well, my shit's corded up right now, so I'm done at this
Trey
point.
destroyed his tires because he's trying too hard. Mr. Trailer.
They're just done. Thank you, Lewis, for the tires.
Yeah.
This was all possible because of you.
It was like 5 sessions though.
Message.
Yeah, it was a hot, scrubby time today. And that last session, morning session today on Saturday, was way too damn cold to get heating tires, but the track was nice. Second session was like the mint session, but you could tell the tires were getting greasy, just like a big change. And this afternoon session, you either had your tires figured out, or you're gonna trailer them into corded oblivion. So
You got some new tires this weekend though.
I did, yeah. So I'm running the Yokohama A055s, and they're probably in temperature range somewhere between like a Hoosier A7 and a Hoosier R7. So like my third and fourth lap are like total fire, and the car feels amazing. So keeping up with like kind of the lap times that the GLTC guys, the top GLTC guys are running, makes me feel pretty good. But I mean, I'm like a second off of Halka, 2 seconds off of Dewey, and Subarus that have quite a bit more power. So I'm really, really jazzed by it. And this is a new track.
Fastest of the group.
And
The fastest of the group.
First time here.
TT Daddy, Colorado TT Daddy.
Colorado TT Daddy.
Do that. We're on fire. We're on fire. We're
Yeah,
on
that's
fire.
Talladega
Like
Nights.
Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell.
You shake and bake, baby. You shake and bake. You're not first. You're last.
We got Jeffrey West is out here this weekend.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good
Yeah,
too.
he's doing all right.
He's doing
He
amazing.
had
So-
a 146, right? Or 147.
Jeff's
147.
dam just dropped.
Ooh. And it's the end of the season. You know what end of the season means for Jeffrey West?
He's gonna take that shit apart.
It means it's ringland failure season.
Oh, really?
That's what he has every year. That's what he had
He had it
failed
last year. Yeah, he had
He's
that last
sitting in
year.
his truck, unfortunately, right now, and I wonder if that's what he's contemplating. New engine, new build, but
Yeah.
Subaru stuff.
Just a new fucking car.
It's real.
We got Corey Ross is out here.
Yep.
Corey Ross is a little bit disappointed, I think, in general, because he's got it's a little bit slower than he was here last year.
His tires, yeah.
He doesn't like the L52s, the Lord's tires. But he has made like massive big changes to his car, and I think he's probably
Well,
still in the teething phases with that.
He found out something recently. I don't know if he told you yet. He was looking at his rear sway bar. Did he tell you that?
Yeah, that
And
the
one,
guy
one side was set to full soft and the other one was stuck in the middle.
stuck in the middle with you. That's how
Yeah.
that song goes.
Anyways, we'll see you guys in the morning.
We'll see you tomorrow.
He's gone. I never see him, but he never claps it.
What's happening?
2 seconds on a 2-minute lap would take a lot.
These are done. Well, that's I guess that's it for me. These tires are done.
What do you mean?
That's right.
Wait!
But wait!
What is this? Advance
Cheater!
Yokohama
Where'd you get that?
L52s.
Where'd you get that?
What? Let's go!
quick Sunday session 1 recap for you. Everybody's kind of busy right now. I had to come off because I got some codes. I seem to have sorted through them. Some Vanos stuff, reset some adaptations. We'll see what happens. I guess I'm going to stay for this last one just because I don't feel like that did it for me. Trey had some AO52s borrowed from somebody and went out there and was on track to catch up to me. Sounds like somebody crashed in front of him. There's an S2K, pretty beat up, black one with some livery on it. Front end's destroyed. He was right in front of me in grid, so I was following him around. So it's maybe a blessing in disguise that I had to get off the track before that happened, because who knows how close that could have happened to me. But yeah, I think Trey's done for the day. He definitely went a little bit faster. I'll have to catch up with him. I'll have him chime in there or something. Corey, I don't believe went any faster. I think Jeff was having a few issues with something too, so he's calling it for the day. Ryan, I didn't catch up with him. Like I said, everybody's really busy right now, but I wanted to do this before I forgot. We'll let you know how it goes. Thanks. We came back from Heartland recently. We forgot to do our closing video, so this is it. We're at home now, obviously, and probably looking a little bit better, like we showered and stuff. But like like usual, we had forgotten to make our at least one of these videos, a recap video.
We did a lot better,
Yeah,
but we did miss this last one. I think we were just caught up, man, and caught up in the moment. The last session was pretty exciting. I didn't get to go out. My tires recorded on the RT660s, and I had to give back those AO52s.
Yeah, he
so
had
I
to take off. Yeah, that's right. Sure. But yeah, I went out and I did not go any faster. I kept hitting 45, kind of 46. And that Vanos solenoid issue I had did kind of come back up towards the end of the session there. So I still got 3 or 4 hot laps, but
so the Vanos solenoid is like variable valve timing, basically. Is that what that's for?
It's an on-off that pulls the cam in and out.
Okay.
And that's how you get your.
So it just basically is pulling power pretty bad. Is that what that would?
Yeah.
The effect
Well,
of that?
once it knows that it's not working, it pulls boosts too. So
okay.
So like a 6 psi limp mode, and just it's slower than stock. I mean,
but
it was hard to limp it around there, honestly.
You did swap them for exhaust to intake to confirm that is what was wrong, right?
Yeah, the morning session, the intake one went off, and I took it out, cleaned it, and swapped it with the exhaust. And after that second session, the exhaust one was showing the same thing. So it followed it around, and I have easily resolved it with the new solenoid. So
perfect. So no major issues, just kind of ruin those laps a little bit.
Yeah, which is a big enough deal out of state and stuff when you're trying to go fast. But I'm happy. I'm really happy with my time. I didn't know if I'd really be able to get anywhere near the low 44s. I
That darn
think,
BRZ and those darn Supras in there all the time.
yeah, there's definitely a lot of time out there. I think I could have done better if I had tires all weekend, but I think there's quite a bit of time for both of us, really.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Fresh tires and with a little bit of experience, I think low 40s is possible.
I think it's definitely doable. I just am not comfortable. We've never been there, and I feel like I need a little bit more of a comfort to just send it quite that hard on some of those areas. Like what is it, 8 and 9? Like everybody else was going off there, but I didn't want to risk it. So
yeah,
definitely was coming in there a little bit timid.
I think it was, to me, the flat area, the braking zone before 8 was really what was unsettled. Well, yeah, I need, to me, it just screamed, you need aero, because my car is just like wanting to bounce all over the place. Like it just can't. I need a little more push to help just settle down. I think spring rates is something that we might be looking in on the off season as well to hopefully maybe help with some of that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I need to learn some of that stuff as I keep going with this stuff because I'm pretty well just set it and forget it and just drive the car at the moment. But
yeah,
I did notice my splitter is pulling down the bumper on the two sides because it just clips in at the top. And now that I'm actually using the downforce, it's pulling the bumper down on the two sides near the wheel wells. So I'm gonna have to do like a cable setup or something on the interior, so it stops doing that.
That'll
At least
help
it has
you.
it like ripped off or something. But
one of the things we haven't talked about actually is like, did you look at many of the pictures that you got from the weekend?
oh yeah, I paid for the pack, and I have probably 20 to 30 really nice photos actually.
Yeah. I got mine, and it was real interesting just to look at how much body roll I've got. And my inside tires, there's like this much tread that's actually touching the ground through some of these corners on both the front and the back. And I have enough pictures where you can see like frame by frame me starting to turn, and as the weight starts to shift over, I just lose all of that. So I mean, all the more reason for either more spring rate or
some
sways.
of that's a good thing though, because you can be a little bit harsher on the steering wheel and higher input with less spinning. It doesn't upset the body. I mean, it upsets the body, but it doesn't throw you into a spin or something if you're not
less chance of sliding.
Steering wheel and exactly. Which is where I was looking at the same thing. I was like, I think I should lower my car another half inch or so, and maybe even next time I get tires, go up sidewall size.
Oh yeah,
I've got a lot of space there. I like the way the car handles, but it's actually got a lot of room for improvement in the way of height and, like you said, body roll and stuff.
Yeah, and we'll have to in the off season we'll update the flyers with some car mod videos or something. We need something to do this winter.
Yeah, I've got some parts laying around for some different vehicles and some build lists that I've been coming up with. So I'll definitely have a few things. But we're talking about Heartland.
Yeah, I think
it was just really nice to have those photos.
Yeah, I think the only other person I remember running was Ryan ran that last session. Jeffrey, his dam kept coming down on the STI.
Yeah.
And he just didn't want to push it, so he didn't go out the last one. Ryan went out, ran like a high 41, which was like a couple seconds faster, and he had almost a full second sitting on his theoretical. So like in a dramatic fashion, pulls in halfway through because he's out of gas, right? He can only run like two laps and an out lap. So he pulls in and, gets on the brakes, and I just see like this white smoke coming up, and he's yelling at Olivia at his RV. So I don't know what's happening. And I'm just like, so I just go and grab my fire extinguisher. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And then she hops in the car and drives off, and they drive off. She went to go refill him so he can go out and hopefully get that low 41. Wasn't able to do it. I think he went back out, started running one, and then got a little squirrely in one of the corners, threw it, and then like very quickly went back through to get another flyer, and he got checker flagged right at the tail end of it, so didn't really get his chance.
It did too quickly for that all to happen at once. Yeah,
it was kind of cool to watch all that happen, but I don't know.
Really cool to see Ryan go so fast, honestly.
Yeah, poor guy, man. He's been hurting all year just because tires. So he finally like won one event, got some really good tires, and man, he was moving. You watch the side-by-side videos of, like, I did one with you and him, one with me and him, and it's just crazy how fast he looks in the corners. And I think just the power is really helping us just keep up with him on the side-by-side.
I really
for sure.
felt like those tires those Nankings I'm running fell off during that event. Like, maybe my first day and a half there, they did their thing. But then towards the end there, I just couldn't go any faster. And I felt like it was cornering speeds. I was really losing it. Like I was getting the brake zones down better and maybe where to set my car up for a corner, but it just wasn't taking the corners anymore.
I don't feel like there was a whole lot of like really harsh brake zones other than maybe corner 1. But even then, I wasn't really braking hard for that just because I feel like I was lifting and being chicken shit coming up over that little hill.
So you definitely showed me one spot where you're doing 130 there still or something, 120 something, and I'm already down to 100 and something.
Yep.
I just felt coming over that hill, if I braked in the wrong spot or too late, like my car got really upset.
Yep. Because you're lifting on the top, right? So if you try to like brake right there, I don't know, that was kind of a nerve wracking. And then you're like staring at a wall in front of you.
Like walking the track, like there was a lot more runoff right there than you think when you're driving, but still we're going 100. So
runoff in the dirt runoff ain't shit, man. You're just gonna go.
Yeah, you don't stop. Yeah. We learned that the other day, actually.
Yeah. We sure do, but that's for the next episode, Brandon.
Yeah, that's what
the next episode of the Flying Lap.
We had one for sure podium with Lucas, though. He took first at the Sunday Cup. That was cool.
Oh yeah, he was on the dyno like 4 separate times. Every time he would come in, he was on top. They're like, "Hey, the car's too fast. You gotta go. You gotta go dyno." Speaking of dynos, how much did you pay those guys to come back and give you a 450 figure versus the actual figures?
So I talked to him before I actually went over there, a couple days before, letting him know what was going to happen. I told him just like bring the ratio of the scale down or something. Yeah, the car definitely makes over 600.
Cool. Well, I think we can wrap this up. Edit this out.
The flying lap.
Boom. Did it. It took one whole season to get it.